everybody, what's up? Today we're making sausage and sweet potato tacos, and we're going to top them with our avocado slaw. Now I served this to my sons and it was a huge hit. They both loved it and they both had about 6 tacos each. So I think you guys are going to like it too. So I'm Rockin' Robin and I'm going to show you how to do it right after this. Let's get started by going over our ingredients. All right, first thing we have here are corn tortillas, of course, because we're making our tacos. I have some sausage here that I picked up from my meat market, and the casings here are removed on this, and this is Italian sausage without fennel. We'll need some sweet potatoes. Here you just want to peel them, slice them, and then chop them up into nice little bite-sized pieces. I have some yellow onion, some Monterey Jack cheese, and actually I mixed because I had half pepper jack and half regular, so that's what I did there. We'll need some chili powder, smoked paprika, ground cumin, oregano. We'll need a little bit of salt, garlic powder, and some pepper. For our coleslaw, we're gonna need, I'm using some cabbage here. Now I bought some in a package already shredded up, but you can cut your own if you want to, and mine has a little bit of carrot in it for a little extra color. We'll need some raw cashews, some avocado, honey, I'm using raw honey here, some apple cider vinegar, fresh lemon juice, garlic powder, and a little bit of salt. We're gonna start off by making our coleslaw dressing. So we're gonna use a blender for that. So we're gonna cut our avocado in half, and we're gonna measure out about a half a cup of avocado. Thereabouts, you know, if you go over a little bit, no harm done. So in the blender, we'll put the avocado. Next goes the cashews, the lemon juice. Now once we put all this acid in with the avocado, it won't turn brown, which is a good thing. Here's the apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of some honey and a pinch of salt. Now avocado really needs salt, so you really wanna make sure that it's salted well, and we're gonna taste this to make sure. All right, so now we're gonna blend this up, and if it's too thick, we can always add some water to it to get it to the consistency that we want. And we can also add, after we taste it, a little more, say, apple cider vinegar, just to give it a little more tang if that's what you want too. So you can adjust that. Here we go. So you can see this is nice and creamy. So I'm gonna take a taste because I'm gonna adjust the salt. Look at that, it's pretty thick. I like the consistency. You can thin it more if you want. I love it, it's perfect. All right, I'm gonna pour this into another dish and put it in the refrigerator until we're ready to serve it up. All right, now we're ready to cook up our sausage and sweet potatoes. I'm gonna start with the sweet potatoes first. Now, I didn't mention, but we do need a little olive oil. So I'm gonna put about a tablespoon in the pan. I'm gonna add the onions and the sweet potatoes, and these are gonna cook up until we get those sweet potatoes nice and tender, fork tender. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to this, and we're gonna cook it for, you know, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, like I said, until those little sweet potatoes get nice and tender. Now these have been cooking now for about 5-6 minutes. I'm gonna put a lid on them, and that's gonna help speed up the cooking on them. All right, let's check those potatoes. Looks like they're done. I can tell by the way they feel. So now we're just gonna set these aside in a dish so we can cook up our sausage. All right, let's get the sausage in the pan. I've got my pan over medium-high heat, and I'm gonna cook this up just by itself. I'm gonna let the fat kind of render out of it, and then I'm gonna drain it off, and then we're gonna spice it up. This sausage has very little fat in it, unlike some I've used where I've had to actually drain it out, but this one is gonna be just fine the way it is, so I'm gonna go ahead and start adding all of my spices to this. So here is the chili powder. I'm just gonna sprinkle it all over. The ground cumin, the oregano, the smoked paprika, the salt and the garlic powder. This should be done in just a few minutes here. Once the sausage is done, it's no longer pink. All we have to do is add back the sweet potatoes, mix them in, let it heat up just a little bit, and we'll be ready to serve up our tacos. The only thing left to do is to mix our coleslaw with our dressing, and then we can tango with our tacos. All right guys, so the last thing we need to do is heat up our tortillas, right? We want to serve these up with a nice warm tortilla. Okay, so I got my corn here, and I have one of these tortilla warmers. These things, guys, are amazing. I think every kitchen ought to have one. You can heat up a whole stack of tortillas, pop it in the microwave, which I'm gonna do for 30 seconds, and these things will stay hot for like 30, 45 minutes. Amazing. So that's what I'm gonna do. Put this in, 30 seconds, we're done. All right, so here's our tortillas are hot. Woo! All right, so we're gonna try and get one of those out there. I told you this thing works amazing, right? Holy caliente, oh my goodness. Okay, let's do one. Okay, so you take your nice hot tortilla out of there, and let's tango. All right, so we're gonna put our sausage and sweet potatoes right on there. And since these tortillas are a little small, we don't wanna overdo them. And then I like to add the cheese, just a little sprinkle, guys. It's optional if you don't want to, you don't have to, on top of that nice hot sausage, and it will start to melt. And then we'll finish it up with our coleslaw. And I'm gonna put some on here, right over the top. Get a little bit in every bite, I love that. And there you go, that's it, simple. This is a great recipe that you can make during the week because it's quick to put together and it is tasty. So it's a good alternative, you know, for any night of the week. So here's our little taco, and I think I'll just take a bite. What do you say? Huh? Let's just do that. That is really delicious. I hope you try it. It's nice, you know, you've got a nice little heat going on there with the sausage and the spices, and then you have the coleslaw with the avocado dressing with the cashews, which is really nice and creamy and just really delicious, guys. It's a nice compliment and it really evens everything out. So I hope you enjoyed that recipe. I sure love making it, and yeah, that's what we're having for dinner tonight. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you have a question or a comment, be sure and leave it down below in the comment section. And you know, give me a thumbs up, share the video if you can. I really appreciate it when you do that. And subscribe if you haven't. And the way you do that is by clicking that button right up there. And that way you'll know every week when a new video comes out, because we'll notify you. All right, guys, thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time. So make some tacos so you can tango with your tacos tonight.